Am I live? As the red line goes across the screen, I think I am. The mostly Republican partisan finger pointing at our debt problem. It's not 100% the Republicans, but they're mostly at fault. So are Democrats, too. Let me explain all this. I'm Bernie Bro. As you know, and we hear it every day, we're over $20 trillion in debt. I think the last time was 22 trillion and climbing. And I remember when I was growing up, when during the 80s and 90s when it was in the low trillions, and I was thinking to myself, how in the world did we manage to get to this kind of level of debt? And nobody on either side, on principle, liked debt for being debt in itself. Well, we got shit. We got to pay for it. Um, Part of the reason we are in debt is the way our tax structure, um, starting with Reagan, with this religious mantra of bailing out the wealthy, tax cut for the wealthy, tax cut for the rich, tax cut for the wealthy. And that's all there is. And even when the Democrats get back in, like with Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, as was Bill Clinton raised the taxes just a little bit for the wealthy, and he apologized later for it. And and then George W. Bush came in, and the thing about it is that when George W. came in, and it isn't his fault that 9/11 happened, but it is his fault how he handled it, not just on a foreign policy scale. I mean, but even on a domestic economic scale too, because it was done in the most foolish ways. Um, Starting in 1998, when Bill Clinton and Newt Gingrich, they were antagonistic but kind of buddy buddy with each other, and they went and got rid of a New Deal piece of legislation called Glass-Steagall, which basically gave the green light for corporations to sit there and take our money and be as irresponsible with it, which led to the crash in 2007. All this Wall Street deregulation that's been going on over the years, and we are still enduring. Yeah, if we haven't had a Great Depression, it's a wonder. Um, so with the 2007 housing bubble that took place, it took a long while to try to recover from it. I'm not so convinced, even prior to COVID-19, that the economy was in such great shape like the Republicans claim. The Republicans are pretty good at saying, well, when everything's good is happening, it's we're the ones in power. Anything bad is actually because of the Democrats. That's I mean that kind of partisan crap. Um, it wasn't great during the Obama years. It wasn't great. It isn't currently great, even prior to the COVID-19 crisis. Um, we still have low wages. We have outsourcing. Um, Although the Affordable Care Act wasn't a great response to our healthcare crisis, um, throwing people off of the Affordable Care Act and letting it kind of self-destruct is still a problem. We had medical inflation, and nothing is really being done about it. Um, and we got a lot of problems in this country that needs to be addressed. But we rather use our government to bail out corporations. And that's exactly what he did in 2008. It was an abomination what happened. They went and gave money to the corporations. They did it again during the Obama years. Some fucking socialist Obama is Tea Party Obama gives money to corporations, and he's a Marxist. That's the funniest kind of Marxist I've ever heard of. But then again, Groucho was a funnier Marxist. uh, anyway, and the debt, the Tea Party selective outrage about all the spending that's being done by our government. Tea Party people, were you complaining when George W. Bush um, lied about weapons of mass destruction and invaded a country that didn't do anything to us? No, 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 no. You weren't. You were totally happy with the United States going into Iraq, and those of us that were out there, and I was one of them, out there in the streets protesting against the Bush Cheney wars. You called us a bunch of traitors. You called us a bunch of terrorist lovers. You call us a bunch of, you thought that we all ought to have been rounded up and put behind bars. How dare you go and protest against our dear leader, George W. Bush? That was your mindset back then. And and it's kind of weird, y'all ended up not liking him. Better late than never, but all you Tea Party people during the Obama years, prior to the Obama years, y'all were a bunch of George W. Bush sycophants, and you were all a bunch of George W. Bush cocksuckers. And I said it then, fuck George W. Bush. I still say fuck George W. Bush now. But I'm consistent. I said fuck Barack Obama during the Obama years. And I'm consistent. And I say fuck Donald Trump now. And if Joe Biden somehow wins the next election, I will probably be saying fuck Joe Biden. I tend to not like any president that's in power at the moment. But here's where I get my dandruff up with the right wing arguments. We can't afford Medicare for all, and we can't afford a Green New Deal. We can't afford free college. We can't afford a job guarantee program. Is that all you liberals and progressives know how to do? Y'all want to add $100 trillion to the debt. But then we sit there and say, you know what? Y'all not been supposedly physically conservative responsible. If there's a war or if there's a corporate bailout, you're just kind of like, let's go and have a corporate bailout. Let's go and free up some money to go and invade another country. And you're all for that then. And then these hacks will all of a sudden become principles. Well, I oppose corporate welfare. When they lose the argument, then they say, "Well, I'm consistent. I support. I oppose corporate welfare too." Until the next corporate bailout happens, and then y'all get behind it again, over and over, over and over. Yeah, we have a debt crisis. If you want to go and put a dent on that debt, get us out of these damn wars. Let's get the hell out. Let's close the 1,000 bases that we have all around the world. Let's kind of start minding our own fucking business. That would free up some money. Let's go and end the corporate bailouts that happens, during a crisis, even when there's not a crisis going on. Let's stop all these subsidies to the insurance companies and the banks and big oil. You want to know who has prospered the most off of COVID-19? And Lindsey Graham, you fucking little hillbilly piece of shit, saying that people who are on unemployment are making more money, and how dare they make more money than they are while they're working. You piece of shit, Lindsey Graham. Let me tell you something, you son of a bitch. You have more of a problem with people getting unemployment than all these corporations who are like, gimme, 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 gimme money. And they're going to be doing better than they have ever done during this crisis, while people who are on Main Street are just suffering and without jobs, and their livelihoods are going down the toilet. Fuck you, Lindsey Graham, and fuck any politician from either party that thinks that way. I am tired of the partisan finger pointing. Please subscribe. Feel free to comment, good, bad, or indifferent.